Unmuted, unmuted. Okay, so happy Wine Wednesday. Hope y'all's week's been better than mine because it's been terrible, but I will not go on and rant about my week to you guys. I will just let you know, first off, for Miss Lucy has always told me that French wine is the best. I'm going to guess she did not mean this kind of French wine, but it says France and it is a Pinot Noir, so we're going with it. It's got a pig on it, and it's all I could get at the last minute. So, happy Wine Wednesday. Grab your wine, grab your glass. Tonight, we are going to chat with Adam G. He has a great YouTube channel. He came on last week and showed us a little bit of his system, and he's going to tell us a little bit more tonight. And then the really cool part is that he's going to show us some slides from things from his tank on the microscope. And if anybody joins in, I'll put that link up in just a second to join. And if you join in, we're going to kind of see if we know what it is. He knows some of them, and he'll tell us what some of them are. And then if we don't know, maybe I'll find out and let you know next week. We'll see. But we are live on Facebook and YouTube. I've checked. If you guys can't hear or something's wrong, just let me know. And I'm going to say hello and welcome to Alex. And I'm going to present you, sir. All right. So now, Alex, this is Alex. Alex, you go ahead and say hello and tell us about this system. Just a brief, you went through it last week, so brief overview.
All right. Well, thank you for having me.
Yes.
My name's Alex G. I've been on YouTube for a little while, and I'm really happy to be here to just talk about my tank a little bit and get some time looking through the microscope on a live stream is always fun. So hopefully we can find some cool critters tonight.
Yes. Go ahead.
To start off, my system consists of two displays. This first one here is the big one. This is 720 gallons. It's a plywood tank, and I built it myself. And its dimensions are 8 feet long, 4 feet front to back, and 3 feet tall. It's glass-faced, and... Oh, go ahead. You got a question?
No, I said that's just amazing. I'll quit talking, and you can. Go ahead, sir. Sorry.
That's all right. Feel free to jump in at any time. My second tank, which the glass is a little dirty right now, is my Reef Tank. So it's also a plywood tank, and it's 8 feet long, 4 feet front to back, and 2 feet tall. And really the reason I have two tanks is that I really love a lot of different types of marine life. I love keeping my corals and reef-safe fish. I've always had a lot of fun taking care of these different animals, but I'm also a real big fan of fish like puffers and angels and big wrasses, which aren't so reef-friendly. And while I do have a handful of corals in here at the moment, I also understand that, they might chew on them a little bit from time to time, especially the angelfish. But I wanted to try and provide a single system that could have all the fish and corals that I'd like to keep. And take you guys into, I should say guys and gals, into the back room here. So this is my filtration room, which consists of a do-it-yourself protein skimmer into my first sump, which is a 265-gallon HDPE tank. It then runs the water partially into my refuge tank, which is a 150-gallon refugium tank. And I just let the algae go crazy in here. While you can't see it, I do keep a mantis shrimp and then also my very large green serpent star.
So
and that kind of comes over to my...
All I said was, that's so cool. Go ahead. Sorry.
And then I tie into a 120-gallon sump, which is where I do my heating with radiant heat exchanger from my hot water tank in the house. I have my return pump, which goes up and over and down to the 2 drops on the tanks. I do keep screen tops on everything. As I was on here last week, I had one fish jump just taking the tops off for a bit, so it does happen periodically, and that's why I like to keep my tops. I made these DIY screen tops, and they worked out good. And then I also, as everyone sees, I did build a walking platform behind my tanks, so I could walk behind, and I have full access to everything.
Which is so cool!
So,
go on.
I keep the ceiling plastified to help control humidity in here, keep it contained. Both tanks drain. They have 3 DIY skimmers on the top for just doing surface skimming, and those drain into a 3-inch common drain, which runs the whole length here. And I'll kind of just walk down it. 3.5-inch drains per tank. And then the pipe comes to here, and it then kind of loops down like a big drain trap for a sink. It comes up here, and then my water enters the sump here and through this line, which feeds my protein skimmer. And my protein skimmer is pretty big. You can't really quite get a grasp of it until you're standing next to it, but this is a 60-gallon tank that was used to make the body of the protein skimmer.
I'm trying not to say anything, but it's so cool.
Just to give everybody an idea on the skimmer cup, that's a 5-gallon bucket from Home Depot sitting on top of it.
Wow.
So it's a big skimmer cup. It's actually about due for a cleaning. It's been a little over a week. I wanted to let it go a little bit because I took a sample of protein skimmer foam and skimmate to look at under the microscope.
Yay! Go on.
I also run 80-watt high output UV sterilizer on this system. It's about 2/3 undersized for what this system would ideally need, but it does a really good job of polishing the water and really makes the skimmer bubble up quite a bit. I know it's breaking down some compounds and helping them be pulled out of the water a little bit better. And finally, my other piece of filtration here is my calcium reactor, which this is the biggest one that Geo makes. It's their commercial model. So it's 12-inch diameter, 18-inch tall, and I'm running a 20-pound CO2 cylinder on that with a carbon dose on here for a regulator. Just a couple other things on my system. I tend to run this fairly free of mechanical filtration other than the protein skimmer. I don't, even though I have a filter sock tray, I very rarely use them. I keep a bag of carbon in here, and pretty much that's the filtration for this system, other than the live rock and the refugium. I do run quite a few lights over this. I started off with some floodlights to try them out, and they worked all right. I also had an old AI Vega sitting around, and then I also run, I think this is about a 400-watt LED grow light, and then I have a Chaeto mat, or as I like to call it, an in-tank algae scrubber. So this just makes a beautiful mat of Chaeto in here. And I don't really touch any of the macroalgae in here or the cyano or anything. I originally had about 30 species of macroalgae growing in here, but if you ever kept macroalgae, you know, sometimes those nuisance algae get in there and kind of take over. There's nothing you could really do about it.
Yeah.
But the system is
sometimes the bad guys, you know, I mean, they kind of do the same thing, even though that's not what you want. You know, some of them, yeah, it's touchy. You can't get away from it. I agree. And go on. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hello to everyone joining.
So I do have a little bit of Chlorpa in here. I did have another species that was growing in here very heavily, and they just they slowly kind of cycle through. There's still a big red macro kind of in here, not really doing a whole lot, but other than that, that's what's growing in here. There's a lot of different sponges and coralline algae in here. Try and see if I can. I can't see all that great, but on the back wall there, a lot of those little white dots are all sponges growing.
Is there any area in there? Is there any areas in there in which the flow is extremely low? Like, I'm just thinking about Steve's talk about cryptic zone. I know that that's not what you were doing, but I was just curious if in the refugium, if there was any spots that were just like really low flow, nothing happening.
Yeah, there's some. It's not ultra low, but it's what I would consider low. I mean, there's an MP40 in here that's set to high, but it clogs up with algae quite a bit. So usually the flow isn't that in. It might get intense in this part, but this area will stay pretty flow free. Just a little bit coming from the pump. This only does about probably 1,000 to 1,500 gallons per hour flowing through here, so it's not real heavy flow.
Gotcha. Okay. I
Oh,
just wondered.
there's probably a couple cryptic zones as well underneath the protein skimmer. It's elevated a few inches off the bottom, and there's nothing to really generate flow under it, other than the water being pulled around it.
Okay.
That's a real brief overview of this system, though. I do run an Apex. Not everything is run off of it. It does have my temperature controller it's a secondary fallback backup to my industrial temperature controller. The protein skimmers run independently on their pumps. The calcium reactor does have a hookup to the Apex to shut off the CO2 if the pH gets too low. But my main return pump, the water flow pumps in the tanks are all independent of the Apex. I'm as much as I love having that control, I also believe in having some good redundancy, and keeping those systems independent kind of helps out with that. The LEDs are also controlled by the Apex, at least on the Reef Tank.
Yeah, I don't know how you could do that complex of a system without some sort of, control. That'd be wow. But
I was running it at a basic level without one.
wow.
You know, it's there a lot more for peace of mind than anything else. Is that when I'm at work, I can monitor things, I can trend things a little bit. So if I see I've lost connection to it, I could turn on a camera and see if anything looks off. So it's really nice for that peace of mind, especially with this amount of water volume.
But you were doing it without, no
Just for
problems.
just for a short time. It was an intention to get this pretty quick to have an Apex on here, but I ran the first few months without one.
Gotcha.
And it was really before there was any fish or corals in here, but I was still running it for a bit just to see how it was going.
Right. And what was the total volume of all of the entire system did you say?
I don't think I did.
Oh, sorry.
The whole shebang here, all these tanks together is a total of roughly 1,600 gallons of water.
Just amazing. I mean, to do that. Hi, Tina. Hi, everybody. Hello to everybody joining. But yeah, I'm fascinated with this tank now. I, of course, have gone and subscribed to his YouTube channel because I can't even imagine having that massive system. It's just amazing. And I just love the fact that, Alex, you can keep almost anything you want, in your separate systems. You can have the best of both worlds and macros. I mean, it's just crazy. It's insane. I know other people have done tanks like this, but I love this one. And so, what we
Yeah.
talked. Did you have anything else you wanted to tell us about the tanks before we?
Oh,
I'm
I
anxious.
think I think the only other thing is that this is my RODI system. I run a 7-stage RODI system on. I have to run a booster pump because my water pressure is only about 30 to 40 psi without one, and I keep 200 gallons of water storage on hand. I roughly go through uh, normal on a normal week. It's about 30 to 40 gallons of water.
And I think you said last week you don't really do water changes. That's just top off and
I Yeah, I haven't really done any. The biggest water change I've done since the system has been set up is a single 100-gallon change. And a lot of it is I really wanted to kind of test out that idea of how well things work. For the most part, they've worked out well. Um, the only issue really going on in the reef tank, which really isn't much of an issue, but it's just unsightly, is there is some cyano in the sand. Uh, Generally, that means that it's time for a DI cartridge replacement. So I'm just stirring the sand a little bit, and I'm making sure I'm making 0 TDS water. But
do you test? Do you
it's
have a TDS meter and test the water frequently? Is that
yeah,
okay?
yeah. So I have I got this little BRS triple DI, and it has an integrated triple TDS monitor in it.
Oh, cool.
So I can see what it's coming in at and what it's doing at each stage. So the color change in resin in combination with that helps out a lot.
I want one of those so bad. I'm so jealous because my water is terrible and I would love to see which cartridge does what. That'd be so cool. Um, but anyways, well that's good.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. So I actually in my water the cation resin doesn't really. I haven't changed this at all. It still isn't color changed. The anon resin though that I've gone through a little bit more, and so.
Now, what does that mean
But,
exactly? Do you know off the top of your head? Like, does that mean that your
um,
water has a lot of blah or whatever?
well, it could, and I can't remember all the science behind it on what each resin does. I know BRS has a really good series, which is part of the reason I got it because they seem to remove different things from the water,
Right.
and that's kind of the benefit you're getting is that each resin does a little bit better job at removing different particulates in the water or ions in the water. So it's uh, I found it useful. It helped my system out quite a bit when I started. I have been a little careful with it though because when I first put it on, I outstripped all the nutrients out of the top off water, and it was too clean and
Right.
nothing like that. So I've been trying to find a healthy balance with it.
And so you're trying to find your healthy balance literally by um, determining the quality of water that goes in. But I think you said last week also that you don't dose, do you? Aside from the calcium reactor, I know we have the reactor, but you don't
Uh,
dose like any extras, do you?
the only thing I dose a little bit is I've been doing a little bit of strontium and potassium because they've been testing low.
Gotcha.
Um, I am to the point though. This tank's about a year and a half old. I'm probably gonna do some kind of ICP testing just to kind of get a little better idea on a bigger scale of water testing on here just to see how things are going.
Right.
Uh, and then I might change my mentality on how I'm doing water changes and stuff. I mean, things are growing and doing well, but I do like to tinker with things, and uh, water changes never hurt anything. I just tried not doing them, and things have been doing okay as well. So
Gotcha. Yeah. In the comments, a lot of people are saying that they have 7 stage. Oh, Lucy, I'm sorry, Alex. Lucy wanted to know what the names for the 7 stages were. Do you know like what each stage of your RODI system? Yeah, you named a
yeah,
couple, but go ahead.
so I got a 5 micron pre-filter cartridge,
Okay.
a 5 micron carbon block, a 1 micron carbon block. I'm running dual 100-gallon per day membranes and they are running just in parallel, not in line. So they're each producing their own independent water. I'm not trying to run it through two of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, it goes to the triple stage DI, where it goes through the cation, anion, and then a mixed bead of both of those together.
Wow. And I'm going to go, of course, look up the BRS videos when you're done. I love those videos. They're great. But those, because I honestly don't know exactly what do those pull out when you're saying like the anon or whatever. What is that? Is it for specific things or?
Yeah, it's just pulling different elements out of the water.
Okay.
And then they actually had some pretty good testing in their video that kind of showed how things were coming out, and that's kind of where they landed on this triple DI saver idea, that you run it through each one of these separately, and it was the best combination they found, where it kind of eliminated everything, and
Gotcha.
also was the most efficient use of the resins.
Gotcha. I mean, it makes sense, and I wish I had already watched the video, but I will because that makes sense. Because for example, in my house, my water, I said it's bad, but when I got the water report, then I knew exactly how bad and what I needed to, what needed taken out the most. And it does matter. So interesting. Anyhow, and Tina, and you said you haven't had to replace the cartridges often in this year. Is that correct? Did you say you haven't replaced them very often?
Oh no!
Okay.
I thought I heard you say we're asking Tina or something.
No, I'm sorry.
Sorry. Uh, uh, no. So the only one that I've really replaced since I've had this is the Anon resin. This one I go through more than any. Um, this one I probably replaced maybe, I want to say probably 6 times in. It's probably every month or two. I'm replacing that one.
Well, now I'm super curious as to what exactly that removes or what makes it change color. So we'll have to check out that video on BRS. Anyhow, and people are just in the comments talking about their oh my gosh, their stages and such. But you have some slides to show us, don't you?
Yeah, and so one of the things I wanted to kind of show everybody, and I'll just before I kind of have to take my phone and hook it up here. We're going to put
Sure.
uh, my phone onto the microscope here. This is a stereo microscope. We'll be looking at a bunch of different samples of. I have a bunch of things to pick from, so I'll let you or the audience can pick out what we want to look at. But I have salt creep, some naturally dried up salt that's crystallized, protein skimmer skimmate liquid, protein skimmer skimmate bubbles that I have reliquefied to see if there's a difference between them, a couple detritus samples, and various sand samples from different parts of my tank, and also some algae samples out of the refugium.
Oh, I cannot wait to see what we see. Okay. All right. So, anybody, I'm looking at Facebook and at YouTube. Do you guys have any preferences where we start? What shall we look at first? What do you think, Alex? Because they haven't joined in the actual hangout. They're in the comments. So, what are you
Well,
thinking we should do
I,
first?
I will go ahead and just start with salt. So let me get, I'm going to mute myself for a second while I hook this up to the microscope, and hopefully I don't hit buttons that I
Okay.
don't want to.
Okay.
So if I disappear for a minute, I will come back as soon as I can.
Joanne says these sound smelly. Yes, but we don't have to smell them. We just get to see what they end up being. And Joanne, if you know what any of these things he shows us are, you know, I was supposed to get a sciencey type person to come on today and tell us if we were right about what we were looking at, and maybe tell us a little bit more about what we were seeing in these slides, but I had a really terrible week. Literally 2 cars broke down. I promise not to ramble, but yeah. And I think Alex, if you can still hear me, Alex, okay, you're just setting up, I'm guessing. So go ahead.
Yeah, I hit the wrong buttons here. It's gonna drop me, so I'm gonna try and be careful here. So bear with me a moment, and I'll get us set up.
Maybe I will ramble. I will ramble while we wait. And Tina has joined us. Tina, how are you?
Hey.
Hi.
Tell him to put the grossest one up first.
The grossest one. I think we started with salt creep. And look at that.
Okay, so everybody can see okay. I think I got my camera positioned pretty good.
This is very, very, very cool. This is exactly what I hoped for. So,
all right.
Go ahead.
Let me go ahead and I'll adjust the lighting. So this was simply just some salt that I accidentally left in a petri dish here while I was going to look at something the next day, and I forgot about it. So this is at 20 power. I'll switch over to 40 power here.
Wow.
So that is what, and you see those little cubes of salt. This is what they're looking like under a microscope. But this isn't as cool as seeing stuff that's actually alive. So
we'll get there. We'll get there.
I'll throw it out there just so everybody sees it. This is salt creep, which it's not quite that interesting. Kind of looks like a little lava flow or something.
You know what, though? I mean, scientists and researchers, they spend so much time looking at this kind of stuff, trying to figure things out, how to do things with it. I find all of it interesting. So, hi, Annette. Hi, everybody. We're looking at salt creep right now. And then we're going to move on to some other goodies in Alex's tank.
All right. So... All right, so Tina said the grossest one here.
Yeah, the grossest looking one.
That would be my protein skimmer skimmate.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, I see creepy crawlies.
Yes. I am dying to know what the creepy crawlies are, so this might end up being a video later. We'll see. But
Okay, hold on. Now you're intriguing me because I'm looking for a creepy crawly. Oh, I know what that is.
What is it?
It's dead, but that's actually a little shell of an ostracod right there.
Ah. And
so let's see.
Now he's making me want to go.
There we go.
What are we looking at? Tell us.
Well, that's some kind of worm.
I was gonna say I saw something crawling and moving.
Oh, sorry.
So this is the actual skimmer liquid that's in the bottom of my skimmer cup. Let's see. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot going on in here.
Well, hopefully that means you just have a really clean tank, but that probably means that most of the creepy crawlies are in the tank doing what they're supposed to do. It's just, oh gosh.
Well,
those worms and stuff, oh gosh. When you think about how many little organisms are in our tanks, it makes me never want to put my hand back in. But go on.
So this is protein skimmate foam that has not. I added salt water to it to dilute it to see if you got any creepies in. No, there's something right there.
Oh. See, and this is why I really hoped to have a scientist, or someone, who would know, because I have found things in things, scrapings of even seahorses and stuff, and I have no idea what I'm looking at, It's like, okay, So there's something moving. That we got something moving. But
He's got something running there.
yes.
Okay, so
I see two
this is
things.
actually,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
we got a bunch of things in here moving.
Wow.
That is actually a little ostracod. He is very tiny because we're at 40 power and he's still barely showing up. Oh, there's some more wormies.
What is the what are the little things that oh my gosh look like they're fighting over the worm? Sorry. Do you see it,
All
Tina?
right.
Do you see what I'm
Yes, I
talking
do.
about? It looks like there's two creepy
With my
crawlies
army
fighting
worm.
over a worm.
They're probably just trying to move through the water.
Oh my
I was
gosh.
just, are they trying
So,
to
and
eat
just imagine this is just the foam that's in your protein skimmer. This is what's crawling around in mine. All these little guys that were in the water column, they get sucked up by the skimmer.
Dang.
Not all of them, but you get some.
Oh my gosh. Can you go in closer or
I'm
is
gonna
it
say this, Alex.
sorry, go ahead, Tina.
I am at
That's nasty.
And Alex, what'd you say you're at your
Oh, goodness.
highest?
without changing out like an eyepiece, but the
Oh,
image quality doesn't get really good at higher power than this.
sure. You can see it clear as day though. You can see the little teeny
Oh,
tiny
yeah, and you got to remember this is in the foam of the skimmer, so this is really tiny stuff getting that picked up by it. But you notice that in the foam, there's still a lot of living stuff, whereas in the liquid, there was a lot less.
And why do you think that is?
Well, yeah, I have a big feeling. So with my protein skimmer, I generally, and I was bad this week, I normally clean it twice a week.
Okay.
So when I clean my skimmer twice a week, if it's only a few days old and I pull the skimmate out, these little wormies in here, there's millions of them.
Oh.
Like the whole screen will be moving. And the skimmate doesn't smell at that point. But that skimmate's been in there over a week. It smells pretty bad now. So a lot of that is probably whatever waste is in here getting broken down further.
Okay.
And
And
that's
probably,
what
is that what the worms and that are doing is breaking that down?
they're probably dying themselves because they've run out of oxygen and just not a hospitable environment for them over time.
Right. And so what, I mean, and Joseph, Joseph, I'm sorry, I'm reading the comments too. Alex, when you're looking at this, do you tip, I'm like cringing and, freaking out over here, but you see things, when you see this, you see mostly things that are helping your tank, correct? Well, not in this, because this
Yes.
is what you're pulling out though, right?
Well, no, but you got to look at it this way: is that while this stuff's being pulled out, I can consistently go in and see that while this might be getting pulled out, um, there's still a lot of life in the tank. This is probably some of it's probably just organisms that came off a rock, went free swimming. Other might be due to like breeding activity. Something has, a lot of worms, like you see them kind of flipping around here,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and you just don't know exactly. Were they just in the water column, and that's kind of where they fell off? Let's see what is.
Do we know what type of worm they are, Alex?
I couldn't tell you on these.
Tina, I'm gonna make it my mission to find out by next week. So maybe we'll show a picture next week and say what they are because. Go ahead.
There could literally be tens, if not hundreds of thousands of types of little worms like this, where they'd have to like do a DNA test almost to probably figure out what it is.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Unless it has some kind of discernible features, but at this power, you really can't tell on these.
And when you go, I understand you can't do it with the phone, but when you go in yourself and look at them more clearly, then you can see like the rings and that kind of thing, and that's how you tell what it is, right?
I think on a lot of this stuff, yeah, you could do some visual if you have, uh, if there's some, if there's something well documented that has distinct features, that's a way to potentially do it. But there's just so many
Yeah.
fine details. It could be very difficult with some of this small life. I could say it's some kind of worm.
Sure. I just
I can go that far.
as far as like seahorse people are concerned, it usually when like for me when I've tried to use microscope, to figure something out, it's been a skin scraping, and I can see all these things moving, and it's just hard to know whether it's good or bad. But in your
Yeah.
system, I'm sure what we're looking at is all good. So I don't know.
I would tend to think at the age that it is now, I mean, you think anything that gets free floating in the water, this is something that could be coral food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So, or even small pipefish or mandarins could probably see little stuff like this. So, all right. So,
Yeah,
that is.
everything feeds something. I mean, heck, like some of the foods, the reef pods and stuff, like, hey, some of that crap's alive. So go on. Sorry. Go on.
That's all right. All right. So, we have detritus, sand samples, or algae from the refugium samples.
Oh, I want to see the detritus.
Detritus, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I got 2 samples of it. We'll take the light one over here. I honestly could say I've never taken a sample of this stuff, so there might not be anything, or there might be a ton of stuff.
And how long ago did you take it?
Oh, just not long ago at all.
Oh, you
Like,
can see it moving. Okay.
Look at all that movement.
Oh no.
within the last hour.
Oh my
Let's see.
gosh.
Let's try a little different tact at looking at this stuff. So now it looks a little bit more detritus-y. I'm going to try and adjust my...
We appreciate you doing this. I know it's hard to do this while you're live. So I mean,
Oh no, this
it's
isn't
just
bad.
cool.
I just saw that glare in there, and I'm like, where is that coming from? So I shut off my shut off the overhead light that I have here. All right, so let's look around here. There might not be anything here. We'd be looking to see little things scooting around if there is anything.
Yeah, it looked like they were at first when you first put it up. It looked like there was all sorts of stuff moving, and now that helps. But yeah, it doesn't look to be moving.
It might just be me shuffling this little thing around. Oh no, there's something.
Oh, I see it.
There's stuff moving around in there.
That looks like some kind of copepod.
I was gonna say in this case it'd be kind of difficult to say, is this the bad guy or something eating the bad guy? not that detritus is a bad guy, but you know what I'm saying. Go on.
All right, let's.
Oh, that's really good.
Look at all that movement in there.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, that's a pod. That's a little copepod there.
He's scooting all over.
Wow. That is so cool. And you know what I'm going to do also by next week is I'm going to try to find, there's got to be like some websites out there with images or slide images showing so that you could look for something bad or identify something. You know what I mean? Like, Alex, how do you know, other than you've gotten the samples yourself, how would you know what you were looking at?
Well, a lot. I mean, some of the stuff I really don't. And this is all now. This isn't a real high power microscope, so a lot of this stuff is something like that little pod that we saw walking around there. I mean, that little guy could be identified, and I could say with a pretty good confidence that's a beneficial animal. Let's see. Not seeing a whole lot else in here, though.
And now I have a question, and this might not be even really a real question, but It's in my head, so it's coming out. All right, so if you were under a higher powered microscope, like what we're looking at, we're not seeing a lot move. Does that mean that it's just not a high enough powered microscope, or does that mean that it's died, or what? Because most of the things that we are looking at, like it should all be living, right? Or is that not right?
Well, it depends though too, because so this isn't more of a. This is literally just a big pile of detritus that's in my refuge.
Okay, I get you.
So I'm sure there's some pods in here. Now, there is a loss factor in this too, because when I suck it up, I'm sure there's a lot of things that try to run out of it real quick when they get disturbed. So, but yeah, not seeing a whole lot. I got one other sample of this.
Okay.
Let me grab. This one was a little bit better, or what I would call a better sample of it, I think.
Mm-hmm. Y'all know, you already know I'm getting a microscope. I'm getting the microscope out myself. I'm gonna do this myself because this is cool. We're gonna look at some.
I need to get one.
Yeah, we're gonna look at some seahorse stuff. But go ahead.
So let's see. Well, there's a little piece of algae. Looks like a little piece of Chato. Like I said, I've never actually taken a detritus sample before, so not looking all that interesting here.
I think it's all interesting, but I hear you. You don't see the creepy crawlies. Now I see, yeah, the green. That's the Chato, right?
Yeah, that's a little stranded Chato.
What?
All right,
You're watching it.
I'm gonna vote.
My daughter just said she was watching it and she thinks this is very cool. So
even though it looks
even though it's gross.
All right.
All right.
So algae or sand?
Tina, you pick. You say sand?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Let me pull a sand sample up here.
This ought to be interesting.
Oh yeah.
All right. So it's sand.
I mean, that's so cool just seeing it.
Now with this, I might have to. We'll look around and see if we can see anybody. A lot of times in the sand, though, the critters will hide underneath it, and you have to move around a little bit. So let's see. What is that? That's the thing with the microscope. You just never know. It might look kind of desolate, and there might not be a lot going on.
I see some coralline on some of those pieces.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you get to see all kinds of little colors and stuff on here. Oh, there's some stuff. You see them moving?
Yep.
Where are we looking? I missed it.
Oh, there. Let's zoom in a little bit more.
Oh.
Look at the little dinky, they're little dinky critters. Look how tiny.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Look, the little black.
Yeah, I see it now.
I would probably put more into the realm of some kind of phytoplankton. Now,
oh, that's neat.
What I'm noticing, see the rock moving?
Yeah.
Something's moving that. So let's see if we can find out what that is.
Okay. If there's some jump scare, Alex, you're in big trouble. Just saying. Just saying.
If there is, it's nothing I can control because all I know is that something's moving this rock.
Oh God.
I'm sorry to say, but some of this stuff is not the most pretty of animals. There it is.
Yeah. Now.
Oh, I know what that is.
I have a guess, but I want to hear yours.
Oh no! I want to hear someone's guess first. I think that's.
I'm already with Tina.
A brittle star?
That's what I was thinking
It's gonna
too.
be a little bit. Yep.
There it
it's a brittle
is. How
stuff.
cool.
Mm.
Tino, 5 points.
I've got a bunch of those in my tank. It's really neat to see them. That's a
Yeah.
little teeny tiny white one, right?
Yeah, this is a really so just to give every like that is like a 16th of an inch, this little piece of steel. So this is a very tiny little brittle.
I see my mandarins eating them, pulling them up out of my sand bed. I'll
Oh, I
see
believe it.
them. That's
So
neat.
cool.
Well, it's now what I'll do, I'll turn this light off, and let's turn. I might look a little better with this one on.
Lucy asked if we can enlarge the microscope view. I don't really think that I'm able to. I think I know what you mean. I think you mean like me, like make it the full screen of the video. And I might take this video afterwards, turn it into a video, and make it full screen like that. And I'm also going to pull my own darn microscope out, or maybe do some side work with Alex here, because this is very, very cool. But I don't think I can do it in the middle of the stream. I don't think I'm able to. So if you see something you want to see closer up, comment. I'll make sure, to tag the time or something. I'll make sure we get that for you later. Because it's
Hold
very
on,
cool.
I'll try something too. I don't know if I can make it work.
Oh, look at it moving. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Tina, have you ever done this? Have you ever looked in this microscope and seen what you could see?
When I was in high school, long, long time ago, but I do want to get a microscope now.
Yeah, I wish Dan. He's probably busy, no big deal. But I wish he had come, because him and Colby's who I should have asked to come on. Jeez, they've looked at this stuff and know, yeah, they're more into disease stuff, but they would know stuff right away.
Let's see. I don't think this helped the picture, but it's not going to stay there.
Honestly, Alex, don't worry. I think you're doing a great job. And what I really think is that what she means is, like, she was wondering if I could make the hangout the whole video. And I don't think I'm
okay.
right. So I'll do that. I'll redo this later, but don't worry. Your footage is great.
All right. Well,
and what's the green thing?
around.
Do you see the green?
Don't know.
Upper right? Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh, that just a little rock.
Oh, okay. Thought it was a cool thing.
I think. Yep. I think so. We'll go on. Focus.
I see something else moving.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can focus in on something else, but let's see.
Lucy said she went to a lab to watch seahorse fry under a microscope to see if you could spot a parasite. I am dying to know if you were able to do it, Lucy, because you and I are going to have to play hopefully not spot the parasite, but do this on more often. I'll get out microphone. Jeez, it's been a week. I'll get out the microscope and we can do this more often with maybe some, unfortunately, I'm sure I have some seahorses we could look at, but.
What's that red fibrous stuff? What do you think that is?
It's probably a little bit of cyano or something.
Okay.
I saw it moving.
I see a bunch of little black. Yeah, the little black specks are moving.
Oh wow, that's like stringy. That's like.
Oh look! You see that clear thing there in the middle?
Yeah, that's just a piece of sand.
Oh, is it? Wow.
Yeah, there's probably a little bit of cyano. There's a worm.
That looks like turf algae to me. Red turf. I hate that stuff. I hope it's not. But yeah. Very,
And
very
so
cool.
there's a little worm there, and then I saw another little guy running around over here. Oh. Hold on 1 second.
Got my face all up in the phone.
Me too. I'm like, what? Where? What? Hey, I mean, this is cool.
I can see it better on my phone than I can on the computer. So.
Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that.
No worries. I really think this is so cool.
I forgot to. Oh, not Bixby. Come on. You guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Okay. Hold on a second. It's the only
Class
problem.
session.
Did I lose you?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Doing it on
Sorry
your phone,
about
you probably are getting notifications and all sorts of stuff.
No, I plugged in the power and then I hit the Bixby button by accident, so it was trying to start a program on me. I'm like, I don't want that.
Yep. Oh, look at that little guy. Yeah.
Yep, that's a copepod, I think, or something, isn't it?
Yep, that's some kind of pod.
I'm curious too
What?
how many different kinds of copepods and such there are, because there's the long ones I've seen, like what that probably is that I've seen in my tank, and then you got the little teeny tiny zooplankton. Oh, just so many critters, There's another star.
Mm-hmm.
Or is
That's
that
a little
one?
bit bigger one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wonder, I'm kind of curious I wonder what that says about your ecosystem. Meaning, if you can pull sand and, find that much life and, a star per every square, whatever. I'm just wondering that's got to say something good about how your ecosystem is going. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just curious.
Yeah, I mean, look at all that life in there, and this is just a little. This is like a tablespoon of sand.
That's crazy.
And I am curious too, when you got the tablespoon of sand, did you take it from the top or did you dig in?
I've got a few different places I pulled it from. So
Really?
sometimes I find that out in the open in a high flow area will be a little different than an area where it's low flow or under a rock. Oh, what was that? Oh, there's something real fast moving around.
Took
Yeah,
off.
it's almost jumping.
So do you
In fact, I don't want to be in the spotlight.
with the low with the higher flow areas, is there typically less little critters or more?
It just depends sometimes, because it's the thing is that, when we think about flow, it's such a...
Oh my gosh, look at all those black dots.
Oh, there's a critter.
There's critters everywhere.
My little guys.
You know what?
Hold on.
Alex, when you backed up a bit, there's like a million little black dots moving around.
Yeah, actually, there's a little bit bigger one right here. I'm going to try and zoom in on.
I saw the bigger two. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I got a Zardian high power. Let's see. There it is. Little ostracot. Oh, and there's a little copepod moving around next to it.
Neat.
I'm curious really quickly, what is the strength of your microscope, did you say? Like, if somebody wanted to get down and dirty and, like, see this guy's eyeballs, what would you need?
Yeah, so, like, this is what they call a stereo microscope.
Look at that!
So this...
Sorry.
That's an ostracot.
He's so cool! All right, I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
That's all right. Yeah, so that's a little ostracot right there. Zipping around. So this is stereo microscope. So this has got binocular vision on it. So there's actually two eyepieces. So what you can't really see through the camera is when you look through a stereo microscope, it looks a little bit more of a 3D image to your eyes because it's binocular vision. And these are really good. So I'm projecting light underneath and from above. So you could see a little bit more in the way of color. Like, I could turn off the light on the bottom, and this is more true to what you see.
Right.
Where if I want to see from the bottom, like there's a little bit of coralline algae. Oh, there's something else here too. If you want to see from the bottom, you could also project light from the bottom, whereas more of like a microscope or using traditional slides, those you're more traditionally gonna just have light from the bottom. So there's some other kind of little critter right there. And I do have stronger eyepieces, so this will go up to 80 power. So it's a little bit less than the way, like I'm looking at a pretty small area now. And
Yeah,
let's see.
I was going to say, next to the big old critter you see moving, I see a tiny little black thing moving.
Yeah, so just remember this little tip of this metal rod here is like a 1/16 of an inch roughly. So that is a really small little guy, but these microscopes are good for seeing a lot of this, what I'd call more macro life. Yeah, looks like another little form of ostracod here. Just really tiny little guy.
And you say ostracod, are you just, now, how do you know that by looking?
This one is not as apparent because I can't get as good of a look, but that other one.
Whoa! Ooh. Sorry. I love what the creepy crawlies do for our tank, but they're, oh gosh, so freaky.
Oh, there's a little ostracod. And a copepod.
Oh wow.
That's neat.
It is. Now what was that red thing?
Some of those little copepods look like little baby shrimps.
Okay, so I lost the crazy worm thing. Hold on, let me zoom out a bit here, see if we can't get that back.
And I'm sorry, you were talking and I went and got totally distracted you. You were saying that it was a 3D binocular type microscope, and what was the number?
Yeah, so we were talking about the ostracod there. So if you look them up, and I've read about them a little bit because they're a lot of marine ostracods are known to be bioluminescent.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like over 10,000 species of them though. So trying to ID one's not the easiest thing in the world. Okay, so there's something right there.
Yep, right smack dab in the middle. And are you just look at all those little teeny tiny black things. Oh. Every time he moves the sand, you see a bunch of scattering little black things.
So that's some kind of worm.
Wow. I see it.
Oh, there's a black worm. There's a worm, a black worm underneath that white piece. There it is. Yep. Oh, look.
So some other species of worm. No idea what it is.
It's a creepy one. That's what.
I know. I'm gonna have nightmares. No. These. I mean, you guys got to remember, all of this stuff is good. It's so good for your tank, So, but it's just really hard to see and think about.
All right, let's keep.
Hey, Alex, thanks for the reminder to feed my tank my Fido.
Right.
All those little tiny little black spots.
And anybody who watches this later, I'm curious if you guys have pulled out your microscope and if you've seen this kind of life in your tank and if you've been able to ID certain things. And, we're going to do more with this. You better believe it, because I think this is so cool.
All right. Don't know.
Oh.
Some kind of worm. Let's see. This.
Oh, my gosh. Oh.
Oops.
And you knocked him out. I did see him though. Wow. He had little tail.
Let's see.
Science class with Alex G.
I know, right? It's cool though. I love this stuff. I think he's under that
Me too.
rock in the center. I really thought he was, but I could be wrong. I could very well be wrong.
Yeah, it's, you know, I would want to say so too. I'm just questioning because
Yeah, it's not easy to sit there and do that while you're trying to do the phone too and everything.
well, I'm just looking at my phone screen, so it's not too bad. Normally, I got both my eyes up against the microscope, and I'm doing it. It's not too bad. With this type of microscope, you know, you could still kind of use something with your hand to move and move things around a bit.
Yeah, flip that thing over, man. Let's see. No, I'm kidding. Do what you want to do.
Ah, here we go. Haven't seen one of these guys in a bit.
Oh yeah.
Baby snail.
Just a snail. Looks like a teeny snail.
You didn't let him guess. No, I'm teasing. It's very cool.
So on the other side of the screen, the other thing moving in is a little ostracod there. So these little baby snails, I don't know if they're a turbo snail, because I've got some big turbos in here, and I've had these little babies coming in. Let's see if this little guy can flip us up. There's thousands of these things. A lot of them have gotten a lot bigger since let's see if we can help this little guy out.
Anybody on Facebook? You guys know what kind of snail this little dude is? We're curious now. I'm gonna look it up.
The shell color a little bit better there, and
it's got pink stripes and that on it. They'll stay really small. I don't think it's a turbo.
Yeah, I don't know what it is exactly. Well, there's that little ostracod again.
When it gets a little bit bigger, those little pink dots will actually turn into, it'll look like a little piece of peppermint candy. And they stay small.
Yeah, I don't know where they came from, but I got thousands of them. They come out at night typically. I first started seeing them in the sand.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're a cool little snail.
Yeah.
You don't know the name of it, Tina? I'm like Googling as we talk.
No,
because
I have no idea what the name of it is, but the ones that I've had anyway for the last several months, they've stayed relatively small. I mean, tiny. Smaller than like a pencil eraser, I think.
Yeah, I haven't seen any that size, but then again, I don't know. They might get picked off by the fish when they get that big. It's hard to say.
Could be.
That's so interesting that there's that small of snails in the sand.
Oh yeah, and they just, I mean, you could tell it's pushing right on through.
I remember a couple of. Sorry, what, Tina?
It had his little antennas just moving.
Yeah.
Or whatever you call them.
Antennas works for me. I wish I would have had a better week and gotten somebody scientific in here because this stuff is fascinating. I completely forgot what I was going to say, but I'm trying to play it off. Alex, what you showing us now?
I'm just poking around to see if anything's here. Oh, looks like there's an ostracod. Oh, this is a big one too.
Oh wow!
Oh my God! Look at the legs on that thing. Ew.
Sorry.
Does that make you itch?
I was gonna say, like, I know I'm live. I should be like, yay, good stuff. But doesn't it make all of you like, oh my God, I'm never putting my hand in my tank again?
Oh no, my hands will be in my tank.
You can't tell all that. Well, hold on. Let me shut this light off here. You see all the little hairs like sticking out on the sides of it and stuff too?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, all those little legs.
Those that actually eat the phytoplankton, Alex.
Yeah, so these guys are like little detritivores and stuff. So you can see it's got kind of like little black, purple legs here. I've seen several different species of these in the the tank in different places. Sometimes I see him in the sand, and other times, like, see, he's like a little clamshell, though. See, kind of closed up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so he
So
looks
they
like a
got,
rock.
yeah, and so there's like a little split on the clamshell, and their little legs come out from under it, and then they kind of, you see how it's kind of down the middle? And they'll have a couple of eyes on the top or the side there. That little white spot on top, probably the eyes are near the eyes on this guy. Some of them are more pronounced. Yeah, that's a little bit bigger sized one.
That is
That's a
so
cool little
cool.
dude.
That is so cool. I just. And I want anybody who does see this and watch this, we will do this again at some point and maybe on the side too. And I want people to come on in that can, ID these critters.
Lucy,
I know Lucy's good at it.
no, Lucy,
Yes.
yeah, she just put on there that those are Calanista snails, if I pronounced that right.
Okay. Thanks, Luce, because I knew I'd seen him before. I just couldn't think of the name. I'm terrible with names. Wow. Now that guy's moving the rock.
Oh yeah,
They're that
they're
strong?
strong little buggers.
He's a
So
bulldozer.
let me try something here.
Now
Let's see.
when he was moving the rock, is he trying to like just find food in and on
Probably
it?
just go under it,
Okay,
hide from the light.
gotcha.
All right, let me try something here. Not sure how well this is gonna work. All right. I'm just trying to. Oh no, not Bixby again.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know how well. Oh, maybe,
I can see his head. I can see him very, very well. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
I can't see anything that you're seeing.
Well, you have it
Okay,
perfect.
now.
You can see him. That he looks creepy.
All right, there we go. I have to like kind of hold this funny. So this is 80 power to see
Wow.
this way.
How
Let
cool.
me try.
He's not going to like that. Mr. Creepy. Now, do all of the little critters that you said were ostracots, if I said it wrong, sorry, do they all have the clamshell thing?
Yeah, they'll have some form of it. There's a lot of variation. The ones that I've seen, oh, there's some kind of worm next to it.
I see it.
Yeah.
Oh, actually.
Yeah, no,
I think that's the one thing I don't have any idea what that is.
okay.
We'll try to find some of those later.
Yeah,
I've seen these guys before.
Do you know?
All right, let me try and move back.
I have a question, Alex. With the guy that you've seen before, but you're not sure what it is, does it have a pronged tail? Or am I seeing it wrong? Like, does it have two pointers at the end of its tail?
There's more than just a couple.
Okay.
Let me...
We're playing science class, Salty. Hey, K-Town. Hey, everybody. Hey. Hi, Sean.
Sorry.
Sean says hi, everyone.
All right, there we go. Now I'm back. I was like holding my phone and trying to do this, so I'm trying to.
You did a fantastic job, man. Really. That was really cool.
All right, I lost my little Oh, there's the little ostracot.
Sean.
That's kind of cool. The way you got the light out at that time, you could see its inside.
Yeah, that's the one nice thing about a stereo microscope is being able to see from both sides. It makes it a lot easier, so you can see kind of the color and everything. And then if you want to see more from the inside, you could turn up this light.
Yes. This.
Now you can kind of see his inside a little bit more.
Yeah.
So he's really just that little black thing in the middle of the shell with a bunch of legs, right?
Yep.
Cool. Now, and you said at one point 80. If somebody wanted to get down and dirty and get real, I mean, like see his eyeballs, what magnification would you aim for? Like in buying a microscope?
With stereo. So if you want to see like this type of life, I'd probably recommend a stereo.
Okay.
Just because they're the easiest to. They're easy to work with. You could see quite a bit of stuff. It's not going to be like you're not going to see bacteria or single cells very easily. But this is a good thing if you want to see a lot of little critters like this.
Gotcha.
Oh, look at him kicking his legs.
I know it. He said you took my rock away. He's pissed.
Yeah, you're just sitting there kicking his legs.
They're pretty cool. And like I said, I've seen these guys in the sand. I've seen them in the algae. So they kind of go in different spots. Which now, of course, I feel bad for the little guy here.
I know. Flip him. Give him rocks.
He'll get a hold of something here.
He's throwing a temper tantrum.
Night,
There we
Salty. Or K-Town, sorry. Or Salty, whoever. Night.
Yeah, salty, yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
All right.
Science class is cool as heck to me. I am loving this. I'm gonna go buy a microscope to see the bacteria, and then we can really play what's this. But what?
So I don't want to spend all the time in the sand. I have a bunch of these samples. I'll put this one to the side. I have some other ones, but I think you probably want to see an algae sample.
Of course.
Yeah.
So let me pick out a couple different ones here. See who's got what going on here.
K-Town Reefer. What is the big eyeball with the big nose with the big eyeball mean? I'm gonna need to know what this translation is. Does that mean?
He's in here. He's in watching.
Watching. Got it. Well, I've seen the little ones, but he's got these big old. Okay. All right. Ooh, what are we looking at?
All right, hold on. We got a little too much algae in here and not enough water.
Oh.
So it's going to kind of... Hold on. I can fix it. Pretty sure. That should be a little better. This one, you get this glare up on the top when the water's not flat.
Ah.
So let's see what we got going on in here. I already see a bunch of things moving. Let's see.
And you can see the structure of the algae. I mean, it's so cool. Oh, yeah, and in macro, oh, yeah, all sorts of life. Life.
Okay, hold on a second. I got an idea for this one, how I want to do this.
Okay.
Just because there's a little too much algae in here. So I'm gonna cheat a little bit, and I'm gonna take away a lot of the algae.
Oh man, if Lisa were in here right now, she would be squealing.
Oh my gosh.
Like creepy crawlies and all.
There's one for you.
I know, she probably... Ooh. Yeah, the head on that one. Oh my gosh, I know what that is.
It's some kind of worm, like a fireworm or something.
I was just gonna say bristleworm, I think.
The heads I don't know. I just know I've seen it before. I hate when I can't remember what something is.
It looks like a very bad worm, but I don't think it is.
Well, the two prongs coming out of both sides of the head.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't remember. Unfortunately, I'd have to look it up.
It looks kind of like a bobbit worm, but I don't think it actually is. There's so many different. Well,
I know.
Well, we decided we did not like that place.
That is so
too many ways. Yuck.
Oh man, when I pull out algae out of my refugium, there's so much stuff. you, you just, ugh. The reason that I was asking about that is so cool. The reason I was asking about what microscope you would get if you wanted to see like the bacteria is because I know that if I stick my hand in one particular tank, it's just one. The rest of the tanks don't do this, but one tank, if I stick my hand into it, I feel like I'm getting stung. And it's not like circuits and electricity. I've checked all of that. It's got to be like some sort of hydroid type situation or something, but I don't even have to touch anything. Just putting my hand in the water, I feel like I'm getting, and I'll come out and I'll have sting marks. Like,
Yeah, that sounds like hydroids.
yeah. So I'd love to see it.
Yeah, there's all kinds of little things like that. There's a little pod.
Yeah, there he is.
Wow.
Look at him wiggling around.
Oops.
Yeah, where's Chad Clayton when you need him? He'd be in here saying, that's a Hilakulaska follow us. You know, he'd know.
Oh,
Kate Thompson, devil worm.
What is that?
that's an amphipod.
Oh my gosh, you can
A
see
little,
his head.
a little amphipod.
You could see his head.
This is a little amphipod.
Wow, it looks pretty big.
Now you
But
know,
then, yeah, through a
Tina,
microscope. So,
Tina and Kelly will have microscopes tomorrow because this is cool.
well, I don't know about tomorrow, but I am looking. I think I do want to get one now. I think my videos just might get a little more interesting.
Yeah. I mean, and I know a lot of people don't like the science stuff behind it, but I think it's fascinating. I just and it helps. It really seriously can help. I mean, if you know what you're if you got something wrong going on and you can actually look and see, that's why I'm literally thinking that I might try to get some science people together and try to put it on my site, you know, some sort of ID kind of, if you see this under a microscope, it means that it's this, you know, because there's not one out there. Go on, Alex.
That little guy right there, I have them all over my tank. They like to make little burrows. I have no idea. I don't know if it's, I think it might be some kind of isopod, but...
I was just going to say ISO, I think.
Yeah.
It's funny, though, because it has, like, downward claws, and it almost looks like a shrimp, but it can't be. This is a real small one, too.
Could it be a Tisbee?
I have no idea what that is.
Tisbee's a pod. And with the...
Oh, Tisbee? No. No, this is bigger, and this doesn't really free swim. They're more of a, I burrow into the sand or the algae, and they make like a tunnel, almost like a feather duster. I've seen them in little colonies.
Wow.
No.
Okay, now we have an assignment.
I'm going to get a magnifying glass now and start looking at my...
Well, so if you read my bioluminescent article, the second one, I talk about them a bit, and I have some pictures, and I just go, I don't know.
Right. I did read that. And you said, I don't know. I did read that. It's very cool though. And I'm gonna try to see if I can't figure it out. Because I love this. What is it? K-Town, before you go on, Alex, K-Town, because I see what you're looking at already and I'm curious. Because like planaria and is it planaria in saltwater? Anyways.
Planaria are a flatworm.
Yeah. That's why I was asking. Oh no, that's a pod. Okay, I see now. But I had.
Oh, actually, this is a worm.
Really?
This looks like a little fireworm, a little tiny segment of a fireworm almost.
Oh yeah, now I hear you. Now I see. Yep, I see the legs. Oh.
Little itty bitty.
I had some.
And there comes the big one.
Oh, I had isopods that head, I know that head, dang it. But I had,
It looks like a little tiny baby bobbert worm. That's what it looks like.
and
But
I
I don't
mean,
know if it
I hope
actually,
you
because
got
there's
worms in your tank.
well, even if it was though, one that tiny, it would probably, I mean, something's gonna eat it, right?
well, and the reason I tend not to think that that's what that is because these have been around for quite a while, and there's so many different. Like it could be one, but maybe it's a tiny species. They don't,
Right.
like I said, there's thousands, tens of thousands of species of worms. I mean, it's hard to know.
And
Okay, so
good learning lesson for anybody watching. Just because you see something doesn't mean, get out the blowtorch. Just, see what
Burn it down.
happens. I don't
Catch it on fire.
You can throw it
yeah.
out
Oh,
or put it in a different tank, but don't destroy your tank until you know what you're dealing with. You know what I mean? I've done it. And K-Town, the Vibrant videos, actually, I have been making them weekly. I finally got the skimmer pump in, restarted. I just wanted to actually put it up as like the series all together. So I'm not telling. You have to wait for the series. But how's
all
it
right.
going for
So
you? I'm sorry, Alex. Go ahead.
Looks like he's got
I was gonna say this is another one of the unknowns that. Let me zoom in here.
It's interesting the way that it moves.
Well, it's caught in the surface tension of the water, so there's actually two of them here. So it can't break the surface tension right now, so it's kind of stuck. But see how it has like little claws, and it has a couple of, antenna, but it doesn't have like a normal tail to it. It's a really, and they kind of live like a little colony. Like I'll see a bunch of them live together. I have no idea what they are. So you
Dave,
grab it onto a little piece of algae.
Dave said Medusa Worm. Did you mean what he's talking about now, Dave?
No, it's probably that last thing.
The bad guy, the one big guy. Well, now I'm determined. I gotta know what this thing is.
Yeah, this one I've looked through a bunch of different texts, and I mean, there's not easy resources online for this. You really need someone that knows this stuff a little better.
Right.
But yeah, these I have no idea. I got a lot of them though, and like I said, they're cool little guys. Try to focus in a little better, but yeah, I have no idea what that is.
Wow.
And
it's a neat little creature. I said it's a neat little creature.
Yeah, that's for sure. Like I said, though, it is weird. And when I've been doing bioluminescence research and I disturb things at night and the sand's dark, some of the samples I've pulled out of really tiny parts of sand, these guys have been in it. So they might be bioluminescent. I really don't know because I haven't directly observed it. But
You can,
they're
you can see the tiny little black eyeballs on the top, and and how he.
Yeah.
What's he doing with his tail? So, or not tail, but the back end. He's trying to break the surface.
It's stuck in the. It's stuck in the water or in the surface tension of the water.
Right.
So it's just kind of holding on, probably trying to get in.
Amazing.
Because that other one next to it's stuck too.
Is it like a red ball at the end of it? I mean, like
it's kind of yellow. It's kind of like a yellow flat spiky thing. I don't know what it's holding on to, but
oh, okay, that's probably what it's holding on to. Okay.
Yeah, the tail's kind of interesting, and it almost looks like they lay out like a little silk behind them when they're walking.
Oh wow!
Like little fibers. Like I've seen them. Let's look around in here a little more, see if there's anything else crawling around. Because a lot of times they'll start gathering up. Let's see.
That's my goal for tonight was to get a couple of people who would, like even Mark Livingston, Milev's Reef. He, I'm not sure he would have been free, but I meant to at least ask him because he did the great critter guide. I know a couple of people in the seahorse world that have done great critter guides. but I just didn't get it done. Maybe we'll have to come back to this. Maybe we'll have to turn it into a video, like I said, and do it again when I can get some people in here.
Swimmers.
All right, so let me see. I think I have a couple other larger things in here, possibly. Oh, yeah. I see them swimming around already. Well, there's a piece of cyano.
Whoa. You can see bubbles in it. That is really cool.
You can see bubbles in it? And that's it, sorry.
Yeah, there's bubbles in it. At least I think that's what they are. Ooh, look at that creepy little creature.
Oh, that's another one of those.
Ooh, there's a couple of them. There's 3, 4. Oh my goodness, there goes copepod.
Okay, so you wanted a little better look at the tail of one of these things. That's it. Like I said, no idea.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so oh wow.
Yeah, these are... Oh, this one's going to get back in the water. Yeah, but see the tail? It's kind of like round.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
But so far they've been, good guys for you. And
Yeah, as far as I can tell. Oh, we're getting looked at.
Well, I know I see a bunch of creepies looking at us.
hi,
Bye with my eye.
hi,
Yeah,
Haley.
like...
You're not too late. We're looking at creepy crawlies in Alex G's tank. That's what we're doing tonight.
There's the copepods right there.
Well, those are amphipods right there.
Okay, amphipods. What's the difference between copepods and amphipods?
Amphipods are bigger.
Different classification. All right, let's see.
That's the science answer. They're bigger.
Kind of curl up like that.
Yeah, it's just a different type of life.
Yeah, they're he's right. It goes down to the classification, and I can tell you that my seahorses will eat amphipods and not copepods. So,
Okay. All right. Let me see here. I keep seeing this guy swimming around, and I'm trying to...
Haley, repeating audio. What do you mean? Is the audio messed up?
Do I sound okay?
I don't hear any repeating.
Yeah, I don't either, but it's probably me. Let me know. Don't have Facebook and YouTube streams. Oh, okay, it was her. It wasn't me for once. Yay! Sorry. Okay, go on. Are we looking at cyano?
Yeah, cyano with one of those unknowns on it.
Oh God, I see it now. Haley, what is this critter? It's a burrower, and we have no idea what the heck we're looking at. And Alex has done research, and he knows most of these critters, and he does not know this one. So
yeah,
you guys know, you can see it burrowing, trying to get up in a.
Huh.
Now
like I said, I don't know. Well, there's a pod next to it.
Now the tail end of that is the split, right? That's the tail? The
tail, so they're both kind of splitty. So because I'm looking at this vertical.
Okay.
So the top of it is the tail, and the bottom is its head with the little claws. And it's like glare.
It's now going forward.
Yeah, so it's moving. You can see those little claws on it.
Yes. It's creepy as
hell.
I
said, they look like little shrimp claws, but it's not a shrimp. I believe it's some kind of isopod, but I just don't know.
And that ball on the tail is very, very strange.
Yeah. I'd
love to see more of the silk it's putting out. I believe it almost looks like it's fascinating.
Yeah, it's a weird one, that's for sure. Let's see what else.
I have an isopod in a macro tank that I have to ID now because of this. I'm going to have to do it. It has 3. I'll show you guys next week, but we're gonna do this again because this is cool. All right, what are we looking at?
All right, wow. Hold on, I gotta get the syringe in here and draw some water out.
Okay. Now, how do you set up your slides? We didn't really cover that. Is there a trick
it's
to
just
it?
it's a little petri dish. That's all.
Okay.
I'm trying to. The other critter I'm trying to find here is very fast, so you have to.
Whoa, like that?
Well, he's moving it too right now.
Okay. Let's say I thought I saw something zoom.
Oh, you probably are. I'm just trying to see if I can isolate.
Oh, there's something.
Jeez, I'm gonna have to pull more water out of here. Hold on a second.
Thanks for coming in and joining us, Tina. It makes it more fun when people join. I'll put the link up too again. If anybody wants to come in, feel free.
Okay, I think I slowed this guy down enough to actually. No, jeez.
So he's seeing something right now we don't get to see yet. Go ahead. What? Sorry, what?
No, I keep seeing it. He keeps whipping around there.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to. Okay. All right. Now we should be able to get a better look at some of these.
Did you say Did you say that we are at 40 magnification?
Right now you are at, yes, this is 40x.
That was good, Haley.
So this is one of the species of amphipods in the tank. Oh, stop moving.
I love those guys. I see them crawling around my tank all the time and in my sump stuff.
Oh, yeah. Seahorses, love them. They're yummy.
My wrasses and that do too.
Let's see, where'd you go?
Again, these guys are all so good for a reef tank and so good for the ecosystem.
So there's one of these little guys, probably the biggest one we've seen.
They really are all over your tank. Oh, I see his eyeballs.
Yeah, this is a pretty big one. So they kind of range in size, but...
Yeah, because it's a lot longer than the others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one I can see with my naked eye without too much problem. It's, where'd my pokey stick go?
And I do see his shrimp-like head,
Yeah, it's weird.
Very cool.
So that's about a 1/16 of an inch, roughly. So, all right, where is the one I was really looking for? Which, of course, now I can't find.
Lucy said it could be, oh boy, I'll attempt it. Paracrangonyx? I can't even try. There we go. Thank you. Thank you, Tina. I never claimed to be a good...
I just had to say it 10 times.
I was like,
and I probably didn't say it right either.
Well, people used to say tomato, tomato. Now it's like Cheeto, Kato, whatever.
Yeah. Cheeto, Kato, yeah.
Oh, it's another one of those.
I mean, they are all over your tank.
This little guy does not want to cooperate with you. Yeah, there's another one.
He says, "Stop looking at me."
Oh, there we go.
He's fast.
No, don't run away.
Because other guys trying to eat him.
Oh, that's fun. There we go. Mysid shrimp.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see him. Oh my gosh, that's...
Boy, he's bit you.
Die, they're so fast.
I saw him. Perfect. That was so cool. And those are... Now, I'm trying to think of 1/16 of an inch. So, I mean, that's not a baby. That's a...
No, that's actually a smaller one. I would call that a smaller one than what I normally see.
And so, do all of these things like eat each other? I mean, seriously.
No, not. I'm sure I've never actually witnessed it. I mean, a lot of them will just eat algae. Now, I know the mysid shrimp can be cannibals, and they'll be an opportunist. I did have another species, an isopod, that was living in my tank for a while that used to be around, and now it's not. And I'm assuming something went and became a predator towards it.
Sure. Wow. And that's not our... I'm sorry, Tina, go ahead.
I thought he said to put an ice cube in the petri dish because that'll help calm them down.
Really? Huh.
Lower the temperature. I can see that.
Now wait, so that's the unknown is the smaller one, right?
Yeah, this little thing.
Yeah. And wow. So cool.
Oh, that's a little baby. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can find a big mama. Give me 1 second.
Sure. And Haley, you seem to know a lot about this type of stuff. Do you know, anybody watching, if you know of any sites, I know that there's one, I can't think of it off the top of my head. I know Me Loves Reef does a great critter ID site. I know there's one at Lions something. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Lucy would. It's not Lion's Den. It's it's gonna drive me crazy now. When I always say I'll do it, but this time I'm really going to link some links after we get done and show some different ID sites. And I really would love to create one at some point because, you know, I personally think this is fascinating and I want to look more at what's in my display and if there's a problem, be able to know what it is. But as Alex said at the beginning, there's not much information out there so that even if you look and find things, it's hard to tell what you're looking at, you know? So, scientists, get on it.
All right, I am back.
Science class with Alex G. Heck yeah.
There's actually some pretty good sized ones in here. I'm taking away their little algae house.
No. I go back and forth from ew to you know, whatever. Hey Chimp, what's up? Have you ever looked at the little teeny critters in your tank? Do you do the microscope? That should be the hashtag. Do the microscope. All right, I'm done. You guys, anybody can join. Alex is showing us stuff, but feel free, you know, feel free to join if you want. Lionfish lair. Thank you, Haley. That is exactly what I was talking about. And they cover some of the academic stuff. They're very good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Ooh, there's a big mama. I see it. See its little...
I see its little feelers.
Uh-huh.
When it comes to microscopes, what's one of those not super expensive, but not the least expensive either?
Right, like one that would work, but not...
Yeah,
I mean, if you're looking for light duty, and you're not looking to break the bank. Like I just have an AM scope, and they're like a entry level microscope.
Okay.
Like I want to say this one was like a couple $100. In
Okay.
my my article, I think I put in the model that I purchased there.
Okay.
But
I'll go look it up.
it comes with 2 sets of eyepieces and 4x and 2x. I I really wanted to get this to kind of determine if I wanted to go to a next level of a microscope later on.
Gotcha. Oh wow, look at that on the side. And look at the round tail. Oh my gosh.
So
He's
there's
like,
some.
kick.
They're like, he's taking our water away. What is this crap? This is not cool. Chimp has tons of critters, no microscope. Sometimes that's a better thing, you know? Sometimes you just don't want to know. But I said in the beginning, I've had to, I've had in a situation where I lost a seahorse, I've had, the experts say do a scraping and put it under the slide, and then I do, and I'm like, okay, now what? I don't know what I'm looking at, So Lucy has some experience with that, and she was talking about that earlier. So maybe we'll get Lucy to do
Ooh,
some.
look at that one.
Oh my gosh! Shut up, Kelly.
That. Ooh. That one looks like it's eating.
I don't like its. I don't like. I can't tell if it's the head or the tail. I don't like that. I don't like that. It's little thingies. That's not cool. Mm-mm.
Yeah, see, it's got like little shrimp pinchers on it.
It almost seems like, and the fact that it's a burrower though, that seems like a digging thing.
But the thing is I've seen it in like this is taken at the surface off the algae mat, and I've also seen them in the sand. So they're kind of all over the place.
So cool. I know Reef Nutrition and Reed's Mariculture on their website. They have some very cool footage of like these guys eating, and they get down and dirty. Like they show you what rotifer's stomach looks like as it's consuming the foods. It's really cool. So hey Rip, what's up? He said looks like a mantis shrimp. It better not be any mantis shrimp.
No, I got my mantis shrimp.
And maybe it's babies.
That's not a mantis.
Could it be babies? Really?
No, I don't think so. Not this many of them after this long. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get some more people doing these in here. What, Tina? Sorry.
I said that last one was super fast. It just went zipping across.
Look at him eat. He's eating. Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Yep.
That is so cool.
Look at him. He's in a petri dish and he's worried about stuffing his face. That'll be a typical male right there.
I would have to agree. I would.
Like, I don't care. Munch, 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 munch.
Hand me a beer, right? It's amazing to me, too, how they use, like, all those little legs and everything to... What do they do, like, separate the food?
They're going.
Look at him eat. Oh, my goodness, that's perfect. And disgusting.
Look how fast those legs are going.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty cool.
Yeah, that is really cool.
I know. I'm gonna have to use this imagery. I can already tell you. I've already got the video ideas going. And Haley said, for critters that you can see with the naked eye, they're are barely beyond stereo dissection microscopes are the best. Compound light microscopes are good too. but can see things up to 1,000 times magnification. Haley, if I want to be able to, with one microscope, see the critters, but also see bacteria, is that even an option within like a, I'm not spending $1,000 kind of budget?
You'd probably have to you'd want to get a stereo microscope and then just more of a regular biological scope, I would think.
Well, I know with some
Just
of
'cause
them you can turn them and have different magnification. I mean, I know that you're doing that also, but I just
Yeah,
can't you add a more
standard.
magnified thing?
Well, the thing is, the way this is like a compound microscope, it's a matter of how. So the more magnification that you have, the brighter the light source that you need to illuminate things. And then also, so I'm moving around this little petri dish with my hand. When you start getting into bacteria and single cells, you need to have a movable stage that has like a couple knobs that'll do very precise small movements for you.
Gotcha. I know what you mean because I have one. I just can't use it very well. And I sure can't do the cool things you're doing with your phone and showing us, because this is pretty cool.
Yeah, the phone attachment for the microscope was a very, very good $30 investment.
Now, do you...
Or $20, whatever it was.
I'm curious, you guys. What is this guy doing when he's not eating and it's like... I know they're not probably called arms, but when he's not feeding his face, but his little legs, they're always going. What is that about? Anybody know? Is he like breaking it up? Breaking up the food? Or
no, that's how it's getting its oxygen.
No way.
That's where its oxygen exchange is taking place there.
You have got to be. That is fascinating. Wow.
Yeah, it's very similar to how a shrimp would be. They're always kind of kicking there. That's where they're making their oxygen exchange at for respiration.
That is awesome. Yeah, you guys can tell I've never raised shrimp or anything like that. I tried to do a mysis thing. They all ate each other. It didn't work out well. But
all right, let's see. Let's go back. Let me pull another sand up here.
Haley says compound light microscopes can do it. Many come with 4 lenses. Ours at the university went from 40 magnification to 1,000 magnification, so we could observe larger specimens and bacteria. Cool. Haley, send me a link, because the one I have, and I want one that I can hook my phone up to. Gotta have that.
So there's 2 ways to do that with, my phone is just over one of the eyepieces right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an option. You could also put a camera. They make microscope cameras. You could do that way as well. The other option, if you really truly want to be able to look with both your eyes and show it on camera, is to get what they call a Trinocular Scope.
Okay.
That has a camera port on the top that allows you to use both eyepieces and the camera at the same time.
Wow. So very cool. Well, that's I'll look at all the options, I don't really want to spend a lot.
I started off with a little bit more of a budget microscope, just to make sure it's what I want and
learn how to do it too. I mean, get used to looking at this stuff. And I mean, seriously, some people probably will see this and be like so freaked out because they have no idea about all these critters.
Well, the only other thing you gotta watch out for, I haven't had it on this microscope, but some microscopes that, if you get more of like a bargain microscope,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not to say all of them do it, but if you start using it a lot and start having headaches, it could be that the optics aren't properly aligned and it's kind of messing with your brain.
Oh, we don't want brain messing. Not cool.
Well, it's just discomfort. It's not permanent damage, I don't think.
I see a skinny little worm.
I don't know if that's what that.
Oh, is it not?
I don't know. Could just be something floating. Let's see.
Haley said they're pretty inexpensive, 100 to 400. I mean, I'm digging yours, Alex. I just know, on the side for seahorse stuff, sometimes bacteria's, you'd need to get a little closer. But this is awesome. Very cool.
Let's see.
And there's so many articles these days about like citizen science and stuff. I mean, the scientists will actually use data found by citizens. Alex's articles on bioluminescence and I mean, it's fantastic how everyone's working together to learn more. I really think it's great.
Oh, so let's see here. Yeah. Okay, so we have ourselves a little worm tunnel here on this rock.
A worm tunnel.
Mm-hmm. So you see all these little stones stuck together.
Uh-huh.
It could be a worm or it could be one of those little mysterious critters that we were looking at.
Mm-hmm.
That's neat. I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's kind of all stuck together here.
Mm-hmm.
And if you,
I've got them in my tank. I've got them in my tank too, so now I know exactly what you're talking about there.
How do they make it? How do they do that?
They're probably just secreting some kind of
stick it together stuff.
Yeah, some kind of little filament.
Mucus.
I never really studied exactly how they do it.
Look at all those little things. Do you see the little white things? Maybe, I mean, it might just be the mucus. I just saw a bunch of white stuff fling off.
Oh, there's some little stuff walking around there.
Now,
so the bioluminescent animals I found, or organisms I should say, they were mostly worms that lived in these.
Wow.
All right.
Now, what you just pulled apart, is that long thing, is that the mucus stuff, or was that a worm?
Yeah, that's just like the little mucus bed that they're living in. If anybody's even in here, I don't think anyone is.
Haley, I want to see your new gorks, but have fun. I can't wait to see them. And we were talking about vibrant earlier, but sorry. Anyways. Okay, so
doesn't look like anybody's home here.
is this an abandoned worm home? There's a critter.
Yeah, that's what that looks. That one looked abandoned.
Now, why would they abandon
there's another
it?
Could just be they moved on. Something ate them. So this is another little species of ostracod here. Come on back, little buddy. These guys are really fast. Oh, there's a couple more of those guys we saw earlier.
Neat.
Oh yeah. Now, I hope I'm pronouncing it correct. The ostracots, is that how you're saying it? Ostracot?
Ostracod.
Yep. Cod. Okay. Now, where does that? Oh yeah. Oh gosh. Oh ew. Sorry. Where does that fall in? Where does that fall in with classifications? I can of course look it up later, but
they're under Crustacea, I believe.
Okay.
And then they're kind of their own subphylum.
Look at the one down in the right, just one under the rock. Look at that one.
Yeah, that's a different species there.
Look, that's
two. Pretty cool.
There's two different ones.
Yeah, these.
Are there spaghetti worms also that we're seeing? Are those long strings?
No, that's cyano. That's what I was kind of hoping to see in that little tube, if that was a. So I get like spaghetti or Medusa worms that live in those.
Gotcha.
And that's what I have found to be bioluminescent.
Wow.
Let me go through here. Let's see. Oh, there's another. Okay, we got another possibility. Let me zoom out. So there's another big tube here.
Mm-hmm. I
Yep,
see
I
it.
see it.
Rocks bound together. And you can see some other little guys swimming around here. So let's see. Let's see if anybody is home here.
Okay. Hey, wait. If you don't have to wait, Alex. But Tina, you're in charge for 10 seconds. Well, Alex is really in charge, but I'll be right back. I have to run and grab something. I'll be right back. And if you find any discoveries, well, I can watch it later. But you know, tell me anyways. I'll be right back. Okay. Go on, Alex.
All right. Well, let's see. It's a pretty good sized tube here. You just
Mm-hmm.
never know with some of these. Sometimes somebody's home and sometimes not. But what I do when I look for bioluminescent life at night. Oh.
Now,
Um,
by that you mean glowing in the dark?
yeah, they're producing the light on their own. So what I
Okay.
do is I take a cup of sand and I put it in a tray, and I take that cup of sand and I would go ahead and run a little stick through it. And then if I touched something and all of a sudden there was a flash of light, I would stop.
Nice.
And I would turn on a little red flashlight and I'd try to isolate what was there and move that uh, into one of these little petri dishes, and then I would look to see if I could find what was living there. And then I'd turn out all the lights and I'd try to touch it with a little stick here to see if it started to make light.
Oh, that's cool.
It is not an easy process.
No, it doesn't
And
sound like it.
well, and a lot of these animals that bioluminesce, they only can do it a handful of times, and they run out of their. They kind of got to recharge to rebuild those chemical compounds. So sometimes, oh, there's a little pot there.
There's something different. Yeah.
All right, let's see what you are. Oh, you're a fast little bugger.
This is so neat. I would never sleep. I'd be like, sorry, honey, you go to bed. I'm going to get out my microscope.
Well, hate to say, but every time you put your hand in the tank, there's a lot. I mean, like I said, this is even less than a tablespoon of sand here. And you just never know what you're gonna find.
There's something else crawling around, I see.
Well, that looks like a little snail shell or something there.
That round one in the middle?
Yeah. I don't know, it's something. It might not be alive, but it's something.
That looks like an amoeba.
Yeah, sometimes you do see stuff kind of like that.
There's a shell, I think. That round thing, what's that?
Oh. Oh man, that
Yeah.
right there? That's
Yeah.
an air bubble.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's cool.
Oh. Oh, hello. That's actually a pretty good sized one of these.
Oh, look at the hairs on its body. That's neat.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to show a little earlier. It doesn't always show up. Well, there's something next to it. Somewhere. Yeah, they almost look kind of purpley. Here, let's
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I see this type of life though, and I go, this is a really healthy sand bed.
That is really neat.
Go back to low power.
Now, the other fishes and stuff like that, can they eat those, or are they too microscopic?
Oh no, I think a lot of fish will eat this stuff.
Okay.
I mean, the mandarins are likely chowing down pretty good.
Two. Hooked onto it.
Oh yeah. I don't know if that little guy is. I think that's integrated into the matrix here. Oh, maybe not. No, there's somebody home there. I see the shell moving.
Yeah, me too. See his little filler sticking out. Oh, check him out, dude.
Well, let's go this way.
Oh my gosh, no way. He is busy.
Yeah, like I said, I started seeing these little guys, and I was like, oh, cool.
Makes me want to get a fuge going.
Well, this came out of the main display. This didn't come out of the refuge.
Oh, okay.
At least the sand's not coming out of there, so I have a lot of it, so there's not a lot in the way of even the predators in there really can't take everything out.
That little snail is cool. Look at that. It looks like it's starting to just get color on its shell.
Mm-hmm. I know my trochus have they've been breeding before in the tank, so like I said, I didn't know if this was something else that was breeding or.
Did we make a discovery?
Yes, we found a little baby snail in there.
Another baby snail. Rip, what are you starting to breed?
Alive too.
I see Rip saying he's going to breed seahorses.
I think I saw something try coming out of that too, but I'm not for sure.
Well, that's like one of our little critters there that's like not alive.
I see it.
Uh-oh. It's being munched on.
Probably.
Maybe somebody's home.
I think that might be its home.
Okay.
They make these little things too.
Oh, okay.
So you're thinking.
They said sometimes they're worms and sometimes it's these little guys in here.
So they behave like worms. Got it.
Yeah, sometimes they're not alone though. There could be a bunch of them in here.
Now, see, I was going to say that little guy. Now, is that a copepod or an amphipod?
That one that we were just looking at?
That's our nameless, isn't it?
The one. Yeah, that's the. I don't know. Yeah, this one's not.
Because those are the ones, like you said, I see on the edge of my tank. If I sit there and look at the edge of my glass, they do it right there on the edge of my tank. And you can see a bunch of them in there sometimes. And at other times, you only see maybe one or two.
Actually, you know what that looks like is a molt.
Ooh, interesting. You're right.
That might be a molt of one. Hard to tell, but.
So that's really interesting, though. If they molt, also, that's another, definer. And so anytime that the rocks stick together like that, is it going to be cyano or the mucusy stuff that these guys do?
I mean, there could be some cyano there, but a lot of this is, like, that was a little piece of a tunnel there. Like this right here, which I'm not moving in the right direction. That's a piece of some kind of little tunnel system somebody's got going on here. Now, let's see. Let me pull another one of these up.
Very cool.
If
responding to Rip in the audience, Very cool. When you set up your breeding, hatchery, etc., whenever you get going, let me know because we'll be doing some things on my site that will recommend the best breeders. For we'll help you. Is what I'm saying. Let me know. Ooh, I see that.
That's just a
What is that?
Bunch of those little black things again.
Yeah.
bunch of little things taking up residence in a tube.
See, that's kind of why I
Must be
think
that
I'd want to.
phytoplankton.
Sorry. Yeah, you're probably right. I would really, I think this is so cool, but I think I would probably need to see a little bit closer. But you said you can, just not on the phone, right?
Another snail.
I put it on there for a bit, so I go up to 80 power.
Got it. Okay.
It just doesn't look that great on the phone.
I got you.
See that snail?
Yep, I do.
Yep.
That is so cool. Now, what's that yellow moving thing? Oh, is that? Oh, it's because you were moving. Sorry.
I think it's hard to say sometimes. Sometimes you gotta sit back and.
I have a seahorse.
Yeah.
I have a seahorse over. You guys can't see it, but the tank's literally right there, and it's like looking at this. I think he's hungry. he's looking like, what is that? Another star. Is that alive?
Yeah.
Huh.
I think it's just playing dead because it was getting moved. Because that's how I kind of spotted it. It moved a little bit. Probably not a big fan of the.
Now, how can you tell if they're dead or alive? And before you answer, Rip, first of all, Lucy, Rip is in Australia, I believe. No, I'm sorry. I'm saying it wrong. He's somewhere even further. Rip, where are you at? I think he's in, he's not in the U.S.
Philippines.
Philippines, that's it. Thank you. And
Unless he came back to Canada.
Yeah, he is. He's in the Philippines. You're right. And so that's probably why he's saying it that way. And I'm sure that he will be sustainably collecting and all that good stuff. I'm sure. Right? But okay, what are we looking at, Alex? Sorry.
Well, I can see a lot of the little bigger egg-shaped things look like they're little ostracods. And I could have sworn I saw this starfish move its arm earlier, unless it was just me seeing things. But yeah, there's all kinds of little things going on over here.
Oh, I know, I see it. Now with the video though, the reason I asked if it was alive is because it's white. It's whiter than the other ones. So is that an indicator of it? And maybe all of the diversity right there is because they're eating it.
I think it's just blending in.
Oh, well.
With the sand.
Okay.
Let's see. I haven't really been seeing it move, but there's a ton of stuff around it that's moving.
They're probably eating it. Is my thought.
It hard to say. It very well could be. That or that starfish does not like this light at all, and it's...
Right. Possible.
All right, let's see what else.
And Lucy, just to let you know, on the side, I'm actually talking to Rochelle with Seahorse Australia and going to be writing an article and trying to talk her into coming on to here because she's doing some amazing things with a lot of gnathids and other fish in Australia. That's why I saw Rip's name and immediately thought Australia. Sorry, but very, very, a lot of stuff's changing. The rules, the laws, the what we're doing is changing. So cool stuff coming. But today we're looking at critters. Who abandoned us, K-Town? Oh, you mean because he left Canada? Gotcha. I can't even see the Hangout comments. Good Lord only knows.
All right. Well, this one is very much. I saw the starfish move, so.
So he was playing dead.
It might not like the light.
Gotcha. Like Haley said, right.
Still a lot of little critters around it moving around, though. Yeah, the starfish I've only started seeing in the last few months.
Really? Now, and that's another thing is, do you think that things are just really tiny and they, get more established as the tank establishes and more suitable to the needs, or do you think that they're added?
I think a lot of it is that they came in because I only seeded my tank with 60 pounds of live rock and 60 pounds of live sand, roughly. So everything that, like, most of this sand was not collected from an area that had live sand added. And this isn't just sand with bacteria in the bag. Like, this was like, it came from the ocean live sand.
Wow.
That.
What is that?
Might just be a rock. Little piece of shell or something.
Still, this is what's cool about looking at under the microscope, you can see so much stuff. Amazing.
Now, is that sand like aragonite?
Yeah, so it's a mix of several different types of Carib Sea sand.
Okay.
And then, like you said, just the mixed in the live rock that I added and the live sand, and that was it. Actually, the live rock's all in the refuge too. I never added live rock to the displays. Let's try.
Yeah, see, it definitely depends on what you're trying to do. For seahorse tanks, I don't use anything live. Everything in those tanks, I know what it is before it's added. Even the little lives, the little critters. But even then, things seem to pop up and show up. You just, there's life in this stuff, and I think it can come out when the conditions are right. What were you going to say, Alex? Sorry.
I was going to say, this sand sample was taken a half an inch down because all the detritus you could see in it.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is right up next to rocks. Well, there's something moving. I don't know what's moving.
You in there, Kelly.
I'm sorry?
Rip has a question.
Oh, Rip, no, my site is not MBI.com. However, MBI is a great site for breeding and for breeders. My site is seahorsewhisperer.com, and it's mainly, at this point, articles and videos and, information about seahorse keeping. There's also women in reefing information and reef keeping information, but very soon it will be a store too. So it's still under construction, but my site is seahorsewhisperer.com, and you'll be hearing a lot more about it very soon. And I'll tell you on the side if you want to know. But did you figure out what we're
Kelly,
seeing?
are you going to
Go ahead, Tina.
Are you going to the Choral Expo this month down in Lansing?
I would love to,
No.
probably not. Literally this week, both of my cars died. So
Oh no.
we'll see how things go. But I would love to. I just probably not that soon. I'll be at Magna. I'm always at Magna.
Hmm.
And what were you saying, Alex?
Oh, I was gonna say I know I had a couple people asking me about the Lansing show, and I'm not gonna be able to make it.
Yeah.
But
And those shows
the
are
next,
so good. I mean, it's so good. Not only when people go, does it support the whole idea of the show and keeps them going, and helps the hobby and helps the shows continue, but you find such cool stuff that you won't find anywhere else. I will try to make it for sure. Are you going, Tina?
To what? To Magna?
No, to the Lansing show. What's the name of it?
Yes, I am. It's called the Michigan Choral Expo, and it's January 27th.
And isn't there another one right there? Oh gosh, Lear. Where's Lear? Is that
I have no idea.
okay? Anyways, but the shows in the area, Lansing is very near my hometown where I was born, and so I'm gonna definitely try to make it. But especially since you're going, Tina, we got to get together.
Yeah, I haven't been able to go I can't go very far from home when it comes to Mark, but
Right.
yeah, so like Magna, stuff that's out of the States, yeah, there's no way I could get away. With his health and stuff like that, I have to be here just in case something happens.
Well, I'll have to try really hard to get there, just specifically to hang out with you.
Yeah, I've got my daughter and her significant other are going to tag along with me to keep me company. So
Awesome.
my mother-in-law is chasing me off for the day, and my twins are going to come in and help with Mark, so that and it's only an hour and 20 minutes away from me, so I won't be that far if anything happens.
Right. I mean, I understand why you have to do,
We just taught him something new, and we didn't think that we'd be able to, because the doctors have all told us, that he's got a 2-year-old basically mentality.
Mm-hmm.
My mother-in-law got an iPad for Christmas, and I took a video. I had my daughter actually take the video yesterday, and we uploaded it on Facebook of him tracing letters on a little kid's website.
Wow.
And he did really well with that.
That is so great.
Matching shapes and stuff. It took him a few tries, but it wasn't too bad. He did really well with it. So now he'll point to it and say yes, letting us know that he wants to do something on there.
That is so great.
Yeah, it is. I mean, because he's lost the whole left hemisphere of his brain to a stroke.
Right.
And so he's only got the right side that works, and we're not even sure how much of that works.
Just shows what someone's capable of when they're really cared for and loved. You're doing great stuff.
Spoiled is more like it.
Well, I would never say that. Hey, Alex, what was that white thing bopping around? Oh, you already switched. Sorry. Never mind.
Oh, it was just another ostracot. I was looking to see if we got any other fun critters roaming around. I switched back to algae. We've gotten a lot of stuff in here, so
yeah. And I was going to say too that again, apologies from me for not having more people here to do the IDing, and so we're going to have to do this again for absolute sure, because when I have a better week and can get people in here, because I'd love to know what these things are. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say, it's not a problem.
Yeah. I mean, it's been awesome anyways, just seeing all this stuff.
Yes, it has.
So cool. And to Lucy and Rip in the comments, with MBI, if you're having problems getting into the MBI website, I would personally suggest, well, let me know later, because I can certainly try to help, but Towel Sweet or Kathy, I always forget her last name, the clown breeder, Kathy the clown breeder. If you need their names or information, let me know. But those are two admin on the MBI website who will help you get in and approve you. And I'd be happy to, be the messenger in between if you need me to, because it's a great website. And we'd love to see your posts on there. So, all right. Back to Alex. Sorry.
No, I'm searching around to see if I see anything new in here. No, there's a.
I bet that's that same dude.
Oh, and a nasty worm.
I'm dying to know what that really is too. I have Kylie. If Kylie happens to see this, or I might just have to tag her afterwards. Kylie's my specialist, my worm lady. She can tell us. For sure. The way it's poking in and out, that sucker's fast too.
Oh yeah.
Like typically.
Have you ever tried to
my
pick
gosh.
all them things up with a pair of tweezers?
Well, it's like I'm like looking at it now. It's not even as wide as my pinky nail. It's tiny.
Oh my goodness.
Right. Everyone remember we're talking about really magnified stuff here. But
Yeah.
Yeah, the amphipods are bigger than this thing.
But look how the front of its body seems lighter too. I mean, I have absolutely no idea.
Oh, you're kind of seeing through it, so
that's okay. Either way, as you said before, there's just so many, and I'm actually doing a lot of research lately. My research focuses usually on seahorses, but just on hybridization and, genetic diversity is extremely important, but these creatures will survive, and they're going to find a way through evolution, through each other, whatever. And so you could have a new species of something that's not as dangerous as something else. You know what I mean? And so many we haven't discovered yet. You just never know. But that dude is creepy as hell.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of a bristle worm, but not quite, because it's got those hook things on the front of it.
Yeah, that head, I've seen it before.
It has the head, like, it looks kind of like a bobbit worm.
Yeah, it does.
That's what it looks like. But, again, there's so many different types of these things.
Yeah.
And it's so tiny. Now, I believe I do have a bobbit worm that lives in my refuge tank because I put all my live rock in there, and I've seen it come out and snatch things.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, I honestly don't know if it's still alive or if the mantis ate it, so.
That's interesting.
She might not tolerate that type of life around her.
Right. See, and that's one of the cool things that I really like about your system is that you've got so many different things. And
well, did you see it just tuck tail and run?
I
don't even know where that. Oh wow, that thing made it clear across the petri dish.
It's fast.
He took off flying.
Unless this is a different one.
He is not liking
this.
A
lot of these little worms at night, when the lights go out and they're kind of in a breeding cycle, you'll see them like little squiggly lines in the water column as they spread around the tank.
Wow.
But a lot of the corals eat them. The fish can eat them.
Yeah. I don't know. When I see little white worms flinging around, I know they're good. It's still. Ugh.
Oh, here, so I'll pull this off of the microscope. So you probably can't even see this thing. No, let's turn it. Let's see. Where did it go?
They're so small.
But just to give you an idea, I mean, this is my thumb here, so this isn't
right.
a very large petri dish either. It's pretty small.
Right. No, I mean, even if we're literally talking about a bobbit worm or whatnot, it'd be kind of cool to know that it was a baby, that it had babies and stuff. Hey. And this is algae from the refugium, right? Where there is the mantis and the bobbit, and right?
Yep.
So
Haley says it looks like a species of Dorvilidae, if I spelled that or pronounced that right.
let me see. Where are you seeing that?
This is just all the
in the hangout.
I see now.
Or I mean in the chat. Sorry.
No, you're
They
fine.
talk about the worm or the algae.
Yeah, Haley just said that it looks like a species of Dorvilidae, so I'm not for sure if she's talking about the worm.
Google is our friend.
That's like how I live when I read a science research paper on this stuff, just because there's usually...
Oh, she's on the worms registry. We're talking about the worm, I can tell you.
Ah, okay.
And
worms.
Now, when you research, I'm curious. Do you go to like Google Scholar, or how do you determine what you take as fact or what you take as legitimate research and information?
Oh, as far as like when I'm reading about this stuff?
Yeah, like I mean, if you Google, you're going to get everybody's
generally
opinion.
like, yeah, I'm generally finding like peer-reviewed articles that have been published in a journal.
Gotcha.
So it depends on where it's from. Usually I research like who wrote it.
Ooh.
Oh, there we go. We're
gosh.
going off into.
Yeah, she said she was talking about the worm.
Yeah.
Yeah, this little guy looks like he wants to go swimming.
I would have such satisfaction seeing one of my seahorses go and snick it. Ooh. It's really difficult to know that these guys are very good, but they're just so icky,
They're creepy as hell.
I know. And then when you get into like the pods and stuff, there's good ones and bad ones, and Lordy me.
Well, what's a bad pod? I've never heard of a bad pod.
Well, there's parasitic isopods. I mean, they're that's when I first got seahorses, I had an isopod that was like on them all the time, and I kept wondering. And luckily for me, I was able to just get rid of them, but I never did discover whether or not. And I guarantee you, it was a nice, parasitic type. I know it was. So.
Okay.
I mean, not bad like, oh my gosh. Again, not bad like you should burn down your tank. That's not even possible. But take it down. But like hydroids. I don't want to stick my hand in the tank with the hydroids because it stings me. So
I've got stung by hydroids before. They don't bother me too much.
Ooh. My skin gets I'll have bumps all over my hand. It's terrible. Oops.
Yeah, you can feel a stinging sensation and then it itches for a little bit and then it goes away. I usually just take and spray vinegar on my arm and it'll take it away in a heartbeat.
Ah, that's interesting. Great tip. I will try it. I think Alex was getting buzzed.
When I set up my first saltwater tank, that's what I ended up getting was hydroids. And I didn't know what they were. Like I said, it was when I set up my very first saltwater tank. I just saw all these little clear things on there. I'd get in there and wipe them off with just the little, how you wipe down your tank. And this is before I learned that actually tulips have handles, and I didn't have to stick my hands in the tank.
Right.
But I took a video one day, and somebody's like, those are hydroids, right? And I'm like, no, what the hell's a hydroid? So I was like, oh, that's what's stinging me.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, It don't bother me though.
Stinging sponges aren't very fun either.
And
Stinging sponges.
Oh yeah, the one local fish store I worked at years ago, we had this tank full of this black stinging sponge, and
Oh,
if you handled it, it felt like you it would start burning, but it would feel like you handled fiberglass.
gotcha.
aw.
The
Anemones and
itchies.
type of stuff. And K-Town, I missed the vodka paralyzer stream. What? Why did you not call me? I'm all about the vodka paralyzer stream. I'm going to go watch it now. But you guys got to tell me. I had a really bad week. You missed it in the beginning. I was talking about both of my vehicles broke down this week. So it's just been one thing after another. So I'm sorry I missed it. I got to get to you guys' streams. Thank you for continuing to come to mine. I love you guys. Mwah. And I'm going to play a bigger part. You want me to drink some vodka on your stream? I'm there. I got you. But, sorry. And Alex, sorry to keep taking away. I just keep seeing the comments. But
That's all right. I'm just scrolling around looking at stuff, see if anything catches anybody's eye or mine.
well, you know what's interesting, just looking at this right here, to me, is the fact that did we determine that that's that is oh my gosh, I can't think of the word. Gosh, the bad red stuff. What is the
Yeah, there's some cyano in there.
cyano? Thank you. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's just interesting to me that you can see with the microscope that it's literally like clung into the sides of the Cato, however you want to say it, and like if you, oh man, you would have to outcompete
Yeah,
that.
red and fibrous or stringy.
But I mean, they're
Yeah,
literally
it's
in
one of those
it.
things. It's in the tank, and I honestly don't ever really worry about it.
No, right, and I didn't I did not mean to make it sound like it should be a worried issue. I was just
Oh,
saying
yeah.
that the people that think that they're going to get rid of it by, trying to get rid of it, you're probably not. It's in there.
Right. Yeah, once I don't know with algae, I've always taken the stance of if you figure out what's feeding it, and you balance its food supply with reactors, water changes, whatever you're doing, a lot of times you'll eliminate it as a problem.
Agreed. Natural.
Now, I thought cyano was a bacteria and not an algae.
Yeah, it is. It's a bacterial mat, and it comes in a bunch of different colors, and
Okay.
you can't always easily identify it. Like with this microscope, you can't really see exactly what it is.
What was that guy? Oh my goodness. Was that our unknown guy?
Just some amphipods.
Oh, okay.
No, that's an amphipod right there.
Really?
It's a big one. That's a granddaddy amphipod.
Yeah, that one's a little bit bigger.
A little bit. Holy crap, that thing's huge. Look at the colors, though. It's pretty.
Let's see if it's making laps here.
Okay, and in the comments, we're talking about snorkeling trips. Kelly's learning to scuba dive, by the way. That'll be coming. But, K-Town, I know you're bugging me. It's all good. I love you. Chimp did something awesome. Throwback Tuesday. Fishy jean shorts. Oh my gosh. I really got to get to y'all's streams for real, because this sounds like so much fun. And Haley said, bless Google Scholar. I did a paper during university on annelids. Am I saying it correctly? With focus on... I love when you guys put them words up. Polycheats. Polycheats. So I have some...
Polychaete.
Polychaete. Thank you. See, when I hear it, I know it. But if you write it, I'm like, what? All right. So, polychaetes. So I have some little eggs of info that I remember from the months of research. And right, bless Google Scholar. It's really fantastic to read those. The only problem that I run into often is that, you know, research builds on top of each other. And like one of the papers that I've been working really hard on is comparing what's different now to 20 years ago. And so much has changed. And if you read an article from then, they're wrong now. So I don't know. Peer reviewed is the best way to go, though. And Alex, what are we looking at? I'm sorry to keep rambling. Go ahead.
Another bug.
Another bug. And Dan has joined us. Hello, Dan.
Hello.
What's up?
Hi, Dan.
Not much. Finally got in here.
Oh, no rush. No worries. We've been looking at critters all night. It's been great. And I was
All right. Well,
Go ahead, Alex.
oh, I was just gonna say I finally nabbed a big amphipod, so I'll try to get it under the scope here in a second.
Well, feel free to interrupt me if you when you want us to. I mean, you're the focal of the screen, just to let you know. But if you need me to shut up, just tell me. And Dan,
Nope, you're good.
Personal stuff I'll ask you later. But are you doing okay? Everything good today? We doing good?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Good. And we were talking earlier. Do you have any personal recommendations for what magnitude or magnification? I'm not sure how to say it correctly, but like what microscope to get if you want to be able to diagnose, see and ID bacteria and creepy crawly critters. Do you have any thoughts or suggestions on that?
You're asking me that?
Yeah. Okay. Never mind.
Okay.
Never mind.
No. The bacteria.
Oh.
You're not going to ID bacteria mostly under a microscope.
Right.
You need to do other tests. But for the average hobbyist, I would think that a dissecting scope is about what most people would need. That allow you to see parasites and things of that nature, and look at the Artemia, and it's going to be a lot more useful. A lot of people get more powerful microscopes, but unless you do a lot of study, they're looking at stuff they have no idea what they're looking at.
Thank you. That's exactly what happened to me. Is I paid a lot of money for a microscope, and I was like, well, this is really creepy as hell, but I don't know what I'm looking at. It's a bunch of stuff moving around, So this might
Look at that thing.
right
Ooh-wee.
as Alex's microscope might be a very much better idea for hobbyists. He can go to 40 times and 80 times. Is that probably good for like Artemia and stuff?
Yeah, 20 to 40 is what I like using the most.
Okay.
That allows you to see the Artemia up nice and close and look at rotifers and look, if you take a scraping off of a seahorse, you can look at it. If you want to look at what's in a bucket after a dip or something, it serves that purpose.
Right.
I think 80 I could probably handle if I had that, but I think when you get above that, unless you have some education in what you're looking at, it's just, you're just looking at colors.
Perfect advice, because I was saying earlier that I would like to see deeper into the bacteria, but that's the bottom line, is there's nowhere to compare it to, and that's what I did. Is I don't know what I'm looking at. So great points. Thank you. And so we've been looking at creepy crawlies all night.
Granddaddy.
What, Tina?
I said Alex is chasing Granddaddy around.
I know, he's chasing them all over.
That's a big pod.
What magnification are we looking at right now?
You are at 20.
Yeah, I didn't think it was very high.
Well, he put.
I'm only doing 20 and 40 to go beyond, to go up to 80. It's not the best of image quality, and with this, it's just too. And the depth of field is really poor.
Yeah, well, with what we're looking at, 80 is too much anyway.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. See to this thing's soul with 80.
Well, he has an unknown critter. That's what the whole conversation about going deeper was, because he had an unknown critter, and because I honestly do wish that there was a site where you could go and look at bacteria and get your slide picture and go compare it, or maybe even submit it. If the scientists don't have time to, put up a bunch of examples for noobs, who won't know what it means, fine. But somewhere where you could submit a picture and they could say, okay, this is what it is, or something, because, he's got an unknown critter that he doesn't know what it is. And a lot of times with seahorses, you see the parasite, but how can you really? I don't know. Just wish there was more information. That's all.
Well, and I haven't gotten to the point of saying, let me reach out to like a university or anything to see if somebody who would know where to point me. But like I said, this little guy right here, no idea.
You ever seen him before, Dan?
No. You talking about what's on the image right now?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like a thing, right?
Yeah, he's got sections to him.
Yeah, and let me see if I can find somebody else this is a little bit better sized one. So, and he's on the surface tension, so he's kind of caught. They can be very fast.
He got some great images earlier. Really good.
Yeah, like I said, it's got little claws on it, and it's got kind of a flat tail, and you can see there's a couple little they look like kind of like an antenna coming off the back of the tail there, but obviously it probably is not. They tend to make little burrows of sand or algae together. They stick it together.
He was showing us
Very
earlier.
unusual.
I'm sorry. He was showing us earlier, Dan, like how to see the worm holes and the mucus that they keep the stuff. It was fascinating. It was really fascinating. Didn't have as many joiners as I would like. It's been a bad week. I didn't advertise very well, but I think this video will get some watches, and I might even make a video out of it because it was really interesting. And we're going to have to do this again with maybe seahorses. Not seahorses, but, stuff for seahorses. Not seahorses, right? Okay. Anyways.
Yep.
I do, though. Okay, this is a really weird... Sorry, Tina, go ahead.
K-Town says that's not vodka, Kelly.
This is not the vodka stream. Leave me alone. But no, I just wonder, when people lose their seahorses, do they keep them? I'm very curious to that question. If any seahorse people are in here, if you keep them, just wondered. We're doing microscope stuff. I'm just curious.
Keep what?
The seahorse. They're in my freezer. You think I'm kidding?
Oh, I was going to say, why would you save them? Never mind.
I'm sorry. No, because in certain situations, I want to know what happened, what went wrong, why did that happen? You know what I mean? And so,
yep.
Just wondered.
Yeah, but you almost need to do the necropsy right then and there for it to really show anything.
Really? Well, yeah. I mean, I'm sure you're right. It's because the whatever was wrong goes away, right?
Well, you have necrosis and things disintegrate and whatnot. Some of the little critters die off that you're looking for. Something like your anema, if you do a necropsy 2 days later, you're not going to really find anything. When you call the lab up for aquaculture to have necropsies done, they usually want some of the live animals in addition and a sampling of the water. And they want to put the animals down so they can do the necropsy immediately.
Sure. And what's this little guy? Do we know, Alex?
No, I think that's just a worm stuck inside some stuff.
It's amazing how much life is in there.
There we go. Now we can see a little better. Yep, that's what it looks like.
A worm stuck in stuff. There you go. That's it. I would really,
Yay for science class.
right? What I would really be interested to see also is a spaghetti worm. I know you did look for one, but I would love to see like its head features where the strings connect it to the body.
Yeah, and
That would be
I
fascinating.
did look around for them a little
I
bit.
know.
Maybe I could try to nab another sand sample.
Yeah, we can always do it again, of course, and have.
I almost need, because I know I have some of those that are bioluminescent that almost looking for them, and the way I do at night is almost a way to isolate them. There's our little unknown,
So cool.
not stuck in surface tension of the water.
That's how he walks, or whatever's creeps, crawls.
I'm getting itchy again.
I know, right? All right.
Come
Well,
on now, there's only pods, worms, unknown.
well, we have been going for a while. Is there any samples we haven't looked at yet, Alex?
No, we've kind of covered the base on all the different types I had.
Okay. Well, because like I said, I would really, really like to have you back with your microscope whenever it's convenient for you, and Kelly get her butt in gear and get some people in here to maybe tell you to sift there or say this is this or whatnot, or maybe show their slides and we can do some comparisons and stuff. But I've kept you guys all night long, so I'm gonna go ahead and shut her down unless anybody has. Dan, did you have anything else, or were you just coming in to join?
I was just coming in to join.
Okay, well, we appreciate you and appreciate everybody in the audience, and we might just have some competitions and giveaways and such coming up, so stay tuned. But thank you so much to Alex for coming and showing us all of this cool stuff. I think this is so important that you can look at this stuff and learn about this stuff. It's great.
Oh, you're welcome, and thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Yep, thanks. Yep.
Everybody check out Alex G's channel. I'll be sure to put that link in the description. I always say that and I don't, but I'm going to this time. And we back to sand.
Yep, just cruising around.
And this is how scientists do. It's really cool. So, all right, guys. Well, Haley sent it on Messenger, got the gorgs in the tank. You should have come in here and showed us, but I'm going to shut her down now. It's just gotten late, and I hate keeping everybody. I know I appreciate when you come, so I don't want to keep you too long. But we will see you next week, and we'll do some more science class experiments. Tina, thanks for coming, too, because you were a joy.
The invite.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to shut the stream down, and then I'll talk to you guys in the Hangout for a second. But happy Wine Wednesday, anybody watching. If you have any requests, suggestions, or want to come next time, be sure to let us know. Everybody say bye.
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 Okay. Happy Wine Wednesday, everybody. Bye.